Do you ever catch yourself trying to control everything from your schedule to your emotions and even how other people show up and run their lives? What if I told you this was not a personality flaw, but instead your nervous system stuck in survival mode? When our bodies learn to equate predictability with safety, anytime there is any level of uncertainty in our life or in our world, our body does not feel safe. So, today we are going to talk about how this pattern develops and how we can start increasing our safety in our nervous system so we can learn to start trusting ourselves and trusting life and feel more supported so we don't have to hold it all together anymore. This patterning that develops in early childhood usually stems from a level of uncertainty in our environment. When there's chaos or when things become unpredictable, our nervous system begins to find ways, predictable ways, for us to feel some level or sense of control. And oftentimes, this shows up as perfectionistic tendencies or caregiving or even just micromanaging every aspect of our lives. So, for many of us, this started very early. And as adults, it continues to show up because whenever life gets a little chaotic or stressful, or when we're going through a transition, or there's anything in life that just isn't known or familiar, or we just have a lot of different things we're managing all at one time, our control tendencies come out. And this pattern can really wreak havoc, not only on our own nervous system, but also on our relationships with others and our ability to function at work and in our lives. We cling and hold on. We're very hyper vigilant at all times, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so instead of feeling that discomfort in our body and feeling that uncertainty, we immediately try to overcompensate by trying to predict outcomes and ensure things are happening in a certain way. And most of the time, you'll see this when we don't even feel like we can rest or slow down until we feel like everything's been handled. And so, when we have a lot of tasks in our day, or a lot of responsibilities in our lives, we run around in a hurried and rushed and urgent way all day long in that dysregulated state. And we overcompensate by trying to keep that control so we can feel some semblance of safety in knowing that we have managed our lives. And this pattern can feel so ingrained within us that we don't even realize that is what is happening. Because for so many years, we have equated predictability with safety. And life tends to be rather unpredictable for many of us. And there's always kind of, the monkey wrench being thrown, or we can't really predict everything that's going to happen in our day. And so being able to be more go with the flow, or trusting that things are always working out for us and that life supports us and that we can trust in ourselves and our own ability to manage whatever comes our way, that we don't have to control it. We can just show up and stay regulated and present in our bodies. No matter what is coming at us, we can stay in that center of peace and calm within. So, the first thing we must do to address this patterning is really just to become aware of it. Start noticing what things make you feel discomfort when you start to see that micromanaging, that perfectionism, that need to want to control come out. And this can be in our own lives. A lot of times we'll see it how we manage our family or our children or even our spouses or friends, wanting to know ahead of time what's likely to happen or being two steps ahead all the time. That's not actually about productivity. It's really about you wanting to feel safe and be able to predict what is going to happen. So we start noticing these patterns. We become aware of it. And when we find ourselves wanting to engage in this old patterning and these old beliefs that it is not safe to trust, it's not safe to slow down, we have to be making things happen all the time. We really want to pause and we want to be able to take that deep breath and we want to be able to drop down into our bodies. We want to disconnect from the mental energy as much as we can, from the stories, the narratives, the fear, and we want to drop down into our physical body. We want to be present and work on our grounding and orienting skills. And we really want to try and slow down and affirm for ourselves that we can trust ourselves, that we can trust life to support us, that we do not have to hold it all together, that things are always working out in our favor. And we really bolster those beliefs by looking around in our lives right now and seeing how that's true. Because if you do really look around, you will see things are actually working out most of the time. There are so many ways that you're supported that we just don't notice because we're constantly feeling like we're the ones that are holding it all together. So release some of that control. As scary as it is, initially it's going to dysregulate your system. There's gonna be some discomfort that comes up. But the more you can lean into that and just get comfortable with the discomfort and continue to stay present in your body and feel whatever emotions are coming up for you and notice, what are the thoughts? What are the beliefs? What is the story I'm telling about this? And really work with that energy. We want to be journaling and documenting and taking notes about what it is that's coming up for us, how it feels in our body, so that we can practice what it would feel like if we were in the opposite energy. And so we want to be able to use our skills of visualization and of putting ourselves in a state of feeling safe, of feeling cared for, of trusting, and practice that so that it becomes the familiar energy in our bodies. Then we will be able to continue to show up for ourselves again and again as we begin to repattern this within us. Now, we are exiting week 7 in this 100 days of realignment. Today is day 49. We are just about halfway. We have been talking so much about all the aspects of the journey related to awareness. We've been noticing ourselves. We've been disconnecting from distraction. We've been working on seeing how we don't trust ourselves and seeing the beliefs and seeing the thought patterns, the stories, the narratives, noticing how our bodies dysregulate. We are now going to be stepping into the second half of this journey where we're really going to be focusing on the tools and the skill sets that we can use for the embodiment piece. Now that we've become aware of ourselves, we want to now learn the tools that we can use to shift these patterns. And we're going to be focusing on 3 pillars. We're going to be talking about nervous system, regulation, and safety. We're going to be talking about self-trust and embodiment. And then we're also going to look at the subconscious reprogramming piece. how we actually reprogram our subconscious mind and change our limiting beliefs. Because these are the three foundational pillars that really will transform your life and allow you to come back into alignment with that whole and healed version of you. Now, as you navigate the remainder of this week, you are always welcome to go down and download my free Return to Wholeness audio track. It's a touchstone. It's a place you can come back to when you need a little bit of help regulating your system, creating more space, and just connecting back in with that higher level version of you. I'll talk to you soon, everybody. Take care.